Hello and welcome back to the show. We've got the Everton Arsenal talking points. I mean, this game could not have been any more lopsided. Absolutely destroyed. It's, not too often that there's a game where I switch off before the final whistle. This was one of those games because once you went down 1-0, 2-0, you knew what the final result was going to be. I mean, we struggle to score goals as it is, but needing to come back from a deficit, we don't stand any chance. If we talk about the game, I mean, for 40 minutes played all right. We sat back, waited for the game to come to us, and then, work things out from there rather than being the dictators of the game. But once that first goal went in, it was really careless. Michael Keane and Mikalenko, you can't be allowing a player of that caliber too much space, let alone the amount of space that was being allowed in that situation where he scored that goal. Incredible finish. I mean, no keeper is saving that. Absolutely pummeled at Jordan Pickford. He didn't stand a chance, but regardless, the situation was easily avoidable. The second one, though, God knows what on earth Idrissa Gana Gueye was thinking. I mean, like, the state of that goal, the only excuse is that he thought there was a foul or, a whistle, a stoppage in play, something. Because that was pathetic. His brain was working at the pace of a snail in sludge. Like, that slow. It was unbelievable. And obviously, Arsenal much more alert. That really summed up the evening. And their other two goals really, was just putting the nail in the coffin. It was basically the exact same kind of way in the sense that they were more awake and we looked very lethargic and sluggish and toothless as usual. But what do I even have to say? I mean, I sound like a broken record every single week. The same players. Why are you expecting a different result? We dropped Connor Cody. That was cool. We brought in Michael Keane. When was Michael Keane ever the solution? Ever the solution? Yerry Mina is our best centre-back and, or just about the best centre-back. I don't even think he got on in this game. He didn't. He was on the bench. Mason Holgate was the first guy to come into the game at as the fifth defender or as a CDM. God knows what the thinking was behind that. I think Neil Maupay, why are you still persisting with that guy? We had a couple fast break opportunities, counter-attacking opportunities. I'm speaking in basketball terminology. It doesn't matter. You get the idea. He's useless. If his life depended on it, he'd be dead. Let's put it that way. He just can't do anything. Simply put, he had 5 shots on target. Half of those, if not all of those, were so unthreatening. If that's even a word. It just was no problem for Ramsdale. You didn't really test him one bit whatsoever. He's got to go. But it's like, who do you bring in? What do you do? I mean, in the midfield, Idrissa Gana Gueye, I mean, if we want to win more games of football, you need to be accountable. It's that simple. And Idrissa Gana Gueye is not being good enough more often than not. There's a few games in there where he's been excellent, but the problem is it's completely offset by all the bad games he's had. So he's got to go. Iwobi's got to get back into the central areas where he really thrived this season. Put Damari Gray on a wing or something like that because you can actually utilize his pace. Potentially he can, get a bit further forward and assist Maupay or whoever the hell is playing striker because God knows. Look, I'd rather have no one playing striker than Neil Maupay. I think it's gotten to that point. And then Yerry Mina simply has to start. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But overall, look, I don't know what the expectation was. I didn't expect us to win. I didn't want to go into the game with a losing mentality because I knew what the result would be if you went into the game with that mindset. But as we noticed, as soon as we conceded the first, it looked like we'd given into that exact mindset that I was wishing we pried away from because it does nothing but bring negativity to the team, and the general vibe of the room is much more negative. So yeah, that's basically all I have to say. No player of the game because it was just abysmal to watch. As I said, 60 minutes in, I gave up, walked off, went on with my life because really I've got better things to do than watch a team play very, very uninspiring football for 90 minutes. 60 minutes was enough. 20 minutes was enough. 5 minutes was enough. But Sean Dyche, I mean, he's picking up scraps of the scraps. Like, it's just a mess. And he's doing as much as he possibly can with this group. You're trying to bring players on that can make a difference. There aren't any because no one was brought in to improve the team, improve the situation. We had the same shit at the end of last year, and you would have thought you make moves to change things. That hasn't happened. With this, team, we're trying to run with the same group and try to persist. That's not working. What a damn surprise. And simply put, we're in the position we're in for, that exact reason. Persisting with the same bullshit week after week and expecting more. There's a common phrase on my channel, whether that's for whatever sporting code I'm covering. There's a very simple mantra that I have. Mantra, not even a mantra. Motto. It's not rocket science. Everything sport is not rocket science. You need to score more goals to win games. You need to be defensively sound to win games. Simple stuff like that. And we can't even get the fundamentals right. So if you can't get the fundamentals right, well, then everything else beyond that doesn't matter. We can talk about tactics. We can talk about players, this and that. If you don't have someone up front that can finish off the hard work, I said this last week, I probably said it the week before and the week before that. If you can't get the ball in the back of the net, it's not going to happen. And the striker happens to be a very, very important piece of the puzzle when you're trying to put the ball in the back of the net. We look forward. Do we look forward? I don't really think anyone looks forward to the next fixture. But we know it exists. It's very important in our survival. We've got Nottingham Forest away. We suck away from home. We need to pick up the points. It's really as simple as that. I don't know where the goals are going to come from. I don't know if DCL is back. I don't know if there's going to be mass changes at the selection table. They're very warranted. Is it going to actually happen? Well, beyond the best 11 that we have here today, there's not too many more that are worthy of their spot. I would honestly call up under 21 players because I reckon they could offer more. Stanley Mills, Isaac Price even could do better than Idrissa Gana Gueye today at least. He probably would look less overwhelmed than Idrissa Gana Gueye seemed to look. It can't really hurt to try something new because something new, you don't know what it's going to bring. Whereas, the normality, the same old shit is just going to continually repeat itself over and over and over again. We've seen it far too many times, and I don't know what we would be thinking with an opportunity to get some points on the weekend. What we would be doing, trying to persist yet again when we know what the answer is. The fans know it. Sean Dyche probably knows it, but his hands are tied. He doesn't have players capable of playing. And yeah, last time I checked, you probably want some good players to play. Yeah. All right, that's going to do it. Simple shit. We need a win. And I don't know how we're going to do it. Please come back, DCL. We need you. That'll do it.